So I want to get into the technical breakdown of a combination, the technical breakdown of a combination, the IQ in a combination, and the conditioning in a combination, and why the heavy bag is important or your shadow boxing is important to break these things down. So if we first talk about what we're working on today, which is footwork. Now, footwork, we're just going to make sure we're weaponizing our feet. And the idea of moving backwards. Moving backwards doesn't necessarily mean retreat. It can be a setup as well, as long as you're looking to score. And that's what I mean by weaponizing it. So with us and our step overs here, we have a left-right step over. We're still in range. And we have a right-left step back, which means we're out of range. I'm not close enough to hit the bag, and the bag is not close enough to hit me. However, we're going to use that information as a read to see what our opponent does or what they may do when we are in range. So if I go left, right, and we're in range, I'm paying attention and aware that my opponent can hit me and I can hit him, because we're trying to figure out entry points where we can start the fight. Now, as I get back out, does my opponent come with me to make sure they stay in range? That's what we're assuming for the first part of the combination. So when I get into this left, right, left, and that being my read, now what I'm going to do next time is left, right. I'm going to anchor out, step back. Hopefully my opponent comes to take that space, and then now I'm just going to go ahead and fire a shot. Now, same thing applies. When I fire the shots, I have to worry about what I'm doing before, during, and after. So the before is making sure I start the engagement at the right time. The during is making sure my hands are in a good place. The after is now the exit. They always say in boxing, don't always exit back in a straight line, and we don't want to. However, we want our opponent to chase us. So now when they chase us and we do take that angle, we're assuming that they're going to throw the shot according to where we're going, not where we are. So if I go to the right, the opponent is going to throw a shot that way. Now I'm able to throw my shot based on them throwing a shot to get into something called a catch and counter. But if you notice, we started all of that with our feet. So even though we are throwing punches, even though we are catching and blocking and throwing shots again, we started the engagement with our feet, and we weaponized our footwork so we can score, not just to run away and not get into the fight. So once again, from a technique breakdown for you here, I'm coming left, right, anchor out, shot, anchor out again, then take my angle, shoot a shot, and then from there, I can circle out depending on where my opponent is. The reason why doing that is important is because this is choreography, or this is something that might happen in the fight. So if I can practice this two-part engagement, I am conditioning myself for the task that's at hand for me, which is getting into that type of fight with the opponent. So that's the breakdown of what we're doing, the IQ behind it, the technical breakdown behind it, and how it helps with your conditioning as well. So when you get on the bag and you work on this, it's the reason why I don't want you guys going for 3 minutes, because that's a lot to think about. And when it comes to fighting, you're not just throwing punches for no reason. And when you spar for the first time, no matter how conditioned you are in the bag or with your miles, it always feels a little different sparring, because the idea of thinking about getting hit is taxing mentally, and it tires you out and fatigues you out. So this is how you can use the heavy bag or your shadow boxing with good intentions to make sure you condition yourself to get better at actually fighting. So if we get into it again and we get into those step overs here, boom, 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 circle out depending on where I'm at. And that's how I will go ahead and use the bag to do that. In between, I can throw a couple scoring shots in there. But as soon as I'm ready to weaponize those feet and get this bag moving, now I can go ahead and get into this combination when I want to. And if you notice now, I'm close enough to go ahead and hit the bag as I change this range and do what I want to do. And then from there, I can understand that I may not want to move back as much or as far, because I want to stay in range to be able to hit this bag again. But if you notice there, that's just the more technical breakdown of the reason why we are doing what we're doing. I have a video where I'm doing it with my guys, and I'm showing them on the mitts what that looks like, also showing them on the bag. But I wanted to give this opportunity to break down the whys behind this combination. But ask me questions. That's what I make videos on. I'll see you guys in the next one.